The future. It's unknown. You can't know what's going to happen before it happens, right? If you could help countless people. You could identify cancer before it ever existed. Or you could get an advantage in a video game about monkeys popping balloons. Hello everyone, Dogs here. I know it's been a while. I was going to make a video about Bloons TD Battles 2, but then I just procrastinated editing it for way too long. So I'm back to hopefully become a necromancer and revive my completely dead channel. So, what was I on about during the intro? Well, in a game called Bloons Tower Defense 6, after you finish a certain difficulty, you get the option to go into what's called free play. In free play, as the name would suggest, you can go as far as you want. During a regular game, the rounds are set by the developers of the game. No matter how many times you replay the same rounds, they will always be the same. Because you can go into free play for hundreds of rounds, the developers couldn't set every round themselves. The rounds for 1 to 140, round 163, round 200, and round 263 are all preset. But what about every other round? Surely they can't all be completely random, right? That just wouldn't be fair for the competitive side of free play. Well, that's where I come in. I've been doing free play BTD6 for about 3 years now, including a run that got to round 512 and got more than that many upvotes on Reddit, and including a run that I'm still doing now, which is at round 554. During my time doing free play, I wondered to myself multiple times how the game actually figures out what balloons to send each round. I knew that it had a seed, and that this seed would determine what balloons were sent, but I didn't know how it actually worked myself. The most recent time I wondered this, I didn't have anything better to do, so I asked a couple notable people in the balloons community about it. I started off with Mackin Rules, but he didn't know much. I then took his advice and looked for a modder of the game. I tried Doom Bubbles, but no luck. I then tried a less well-known modder, Minecool. A couple hours later, I got a response. Overall, Minecool was very helpful, and linked me to a GitHub page where someone else had already decompiled the free play engine part of the game, but in Java. I am a Python programmer, and although I have Java installed, I could not be bothered to compile it and everything. By the way, huge props to, I do not want to butcher that pronunciation, Vrejhead, for decompiling the free play engine, and Matthew Guria, I think I butchered that as well, for decompiling the seeded random. The GitHub for both of their code is in the description. I decided to take the arguably harder route and try and convert the existing Java code into Python. I got about halfway through when my friend, B2TI, decided to try and do it too. In the end, he finished way before me, so I resorted to communism and stole his code. I did actually do a little bit of work though, as the engine needed a seed to run it on. I had found some other Java code a while back on GitHub that could decompile the save file for BTD6, so I did translate that one to Python myself. Now, to actually put my money where my mouth is, does this thing actually work? If I get my save file from the game files, which is just in Steam, user data, one of the folders in there, 960090, then you just go through the only folders that are in there, you'll find profile.save. Just gonna copy that and put it in the same folder as the code, which you can download from my GitHub in the description, which has all of this. If I run the free play explorer file, the Python file that is, it will spit a bunch of numbers at me. Currently I have it set to extract the seed from my logs save file, but you can change that if you like. You just come up here and then change it to whatever map you want it on. Or if you come down to line 226, then you can just comment this out or delete it and set it to whatever seed you want. So now if we run it, we'll see there's the numbers, and then here's all the information that it spat out at me. At the top here, we've got the total. This is the average amount of average RBE, bads, F-bads, and cash that you'll make for the next 10 rounds, averaged across 100 random seeds. Under that, it will show the balloon that's being sent, the group number from the code, how many of that balloon there is, and the length it takes to send that group out. Underneath that all, it shows this budget for the round's RBE, or red balloon equivalent, how much cash you would get from beating it, how many bads are on the round, how many F-bads there are on that round, how long the round is, and finally, the health and speed multipliers for every Moab class balloon and above. If I go into the game, which is just here, so for this round, the engine predicted that the game will send out, in this order, 1 fortified bad, then 2 bads, then 2 fortified bads, then another bad, then another F-bad, then 7 F0MGs. It did predict the rest of the round, but that will take up a lot more time. I'll be focusing on these 7 starting ones as it will be much easier to test. So if I start the round, then, don't mind the lag, you can see that we have an F-bad, a regular bad, then once it gets out of the way, you can see another regular bad behind it. Then this next one should be a fortified bad, which we can tell from the back there. You can see a second fortified bad under there, then another regular bad, then this one should be a fortified bad, and then after a bit of time, we should get some 0MG spawning there, fortified. Yep, and there should be 7 of those. We won't be able to see the exact count of those, just because they're going to get popped really quickly, or going to get hooked in by their nav arc. They should anyway. Some applications for this would be Chimp's free play, because you don't have much money, and a bad RNG, 4 bads on a round, could make or break a run. Just as an extra little bonus for any of you data nerds out there, I added a grapher file, which is pretty much a modified version of the Explorer file, that instead of just spitting out the data in the bottom, if I run it, then it will actually graph it for me. The green lines is the average across 100 seeds. It will fluctuate slightly between between runs, just because they're random. And yeah, as you can see, the RBE per round is pretty similar to mine. Mine's a little bit less. I got a pretty good seed for mine. For bads and F-bads, it's quite a bit more volatile, but it still seems to be about the same average as the average seeds. Same with F-bads and cash per round. Mine's a little bit lower than the average, I think, but yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, comment "Thank you people I can't pronounce their name" to let me know. See you in the next one, and have a good one.